That's a 2.0. I hope it's visible to all.
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir. You can start.
I'm going to present the integrated lease management system. We are the CGM, Commissioner of Geology and Mining, working under the Department of Industry and Mines Department, Government of Gujarat. We have offices, 33 district offices, headquartered in Gandhinagar, and various circle offices across the Gujarat. We have more than 1.5 lakh direct stakeholders, including concession holders, traders, stockists, vehicle owners, and various. Project overview. Actually, the earlier ILMS was implemented in 2010. At that time, the GMMCR, Gujarat Mineral and Mine Concession Rule, 2010 was established. So, in line with that, the integrated management system was developed with the limited functionality of transit pass generation and the limited functional. Now, up in 2015, after the 2014, the government has made mineral and mining development rules. They amended in 2015 in line with the GMMCR, Gujarat Mineral Mining Concession Rule 2017, and GMPMS has been changed, and the new e-auction processing has been established by the government. Due to looking that requirement, portal needs to be upgraded in line with the new mining regime. The portal was static in nature earlier. It was required to make dynamic with a single window administration. The payment gateway, e-payment gateway was not there, so it was a necessity to integrate the e-payment gateway, and the portal needs to be technology scalable and solution. That's why it has been conceptualized in 2019. In the conceptualization, we have incorporated a new acts and rules, EODB and G2B services, and the transparent public service was kept in mind. And also, we thought about the footprint reduction within the offices. So we have reduced the physical processes and then converted to the online system. We have integrated the portal with the other government services portal like the Vahan and other things, so we can get the service from itself from our system. Now, who will be the beneficiary of the system? Our district offices, our headquarters. We have more than 8,000 plus mineral concession owners. So they will be the beneficiary. The trader and stockist, more than 7,000 trader and stockist. The end user, the captive consumption, and the construction user. Also the vehicle owners and the mechanized machinery will be the part of the system. Now the key highlights. We have converted more than 200 physical processes to online. Processes in the concession holder or in the stockist, we have like approval of mining plan, transfer, surrender, closure. So these all processes were physically done by the administration earlier, and now it has been converted to online and done digitally. We have the standardized templates for all certificates. All certificates have been signed digitally as well. So certificates like LOI, grant order, these all are government official documents. And we have the repository also. We have implemented the repository within the system. So any document can be available in single touch from the system. We have configured the system generated alerts time, so we can take the timely decision, and we have defined the SLAs within the system for each process timelines. One more thing is that we have implemented a wallet system based integration payment system, because while we take the payment from the customers, from the applicants, then we have to distribute. It will go to straight away to the government treasury, and we are on the royalty pass generation. This will be deducted from the wallet system. That's why we have implemented the wallet system. Now, pre and post deployment of ILMS. What was the earlier in technology? So as I said earlier, the technology limitation, like it was a browser incompatibility, static, it was a very static in nature. The payment system was only integrated with the system, so we were not able to take the payments online. It was incapable to handle the documents repository, the earlier system, and the real-time MIS was not available in that. So decision support system was not able to help from those MIS. Now the solution, what we have done in that one. So we use the latest technology now. It's in .NET 4.5 and the web UI has been implemented also. And we have taken the master-driven configuration. So the configuration can be done on the front end for any changes within the system. So that also helping development within the system. Now we have integrated the payment system through virtual wallet. So we have used the SBI e-payment gateway. SBI e-payment gateway is connected to the payment system and converted to the virtual wallet. Online document generation, all the documents, all government documents is generated automatically by the system with the standardized formats, and also it can be signed digitally. So we have done that as well. For the alerts and notification, it is connected to the very SMS and email gateways. So the customers and even the officials can get the notification about the processing update status. So now it has a dynamic MIS. So using the dynamic MIS, we can our decision support system also become more powerful than earlier. So official can have the real-time access to the data, routine reports may be auto-generated, and the custom reports can be generated from the system. ILMS has various modules like user registrations. Right now, more than 2 lakhs users already registered with the system. Master module has 50 types of master templates. That has a different type of configuration modules. So we can change the like rate applicability or rate, new mineral addition or other things we can do it from the master. Same thing with the quarry lease. Quarry lease module is for the minor minerals. Minor minerals means which is handled by the state government. So we have more than 7,000 leaseholders in the quarry lease modules already working on that. So they can do their operational work as well as their new application can be done by the quarry lease holders. Same with the mining lease. Mining lease modules, it covers only major minerals that is in the purview of central government. But the administration, normal routine operational and administration done by the state government. So those are 500 users within the mining lease module as well. We have a short-term permits like quarry permits and quarry parwana. So we have more than 500 users. The quarry permits and quarry parwana may be from 30 days to 1 year. So those are also within the systems integrated. Payment modules. So right now we have in payment modules, daily we have more than 1,500 transactions done daily. And the one more thing, it's a split transaction. So multiple transactions can be integrated within one system. So in one transaction, the payment goes to the various accounts. So we implemented those things in system. Now the traders, stockists, vehicles, and MDOs are also registers. These are the mineral carrying vehicles or storing the minerals, or they are trading with the minerals. Those also are registered within the system. Enforcement module takes care of the GMPITS, that's a Gujarat Mineral Prevention and Illegal Mining, Transportation and Storage Rule 2017. So it takes care of the all mining related activity. And the MIS and dashboard, we have more than 200 types of reports included in the system. Now the process flow, how the process flow goes. So in user registration, any user can register directly on the portal, and the already auctioned minerals, auction block also can be jumped directly to the system by the API, and they can do their KYC. Once the KYC done, the record creation like quarry lease, mining lease, permit, parwana, stockists and traders can be done within the system also. LOI, we issue the LOI before with the conditional approvals. So that can be also issued directly by the system, and the acceptance of the LOI that can be done by the applicant within the system itself by using the DSC key. Statutory approvals. So statutory approvals like mining plan, environment clearance, or other clearance, wherever the applicable or required, that can be submitted by the applicant online itself on the portal. And the same can be verified by the district offices or the relevant authority within the system itself. Based on these all processes, the final grant order or lease deed or the registration or the agreement can be done within the system. One more thing that I would like to tell you here, that agreement, it's a two-party agreement we can do using the DSC key within the system by using the DSC key. So that is also being implemented. And then the final part, when it is awarded or when it is given to the applicant, they can do their operational parts like payments, dispatch, compliances, management, returns and reports. Technical details, the earlier was incompatible with the browser. Now the new one has a browser compatibility. Also, we can use any device. So it is also available on the mobile device. And its screen resolution is also compatible with. Now it's developed in .NET 4. We have used the Web UI, that's a Bootstrap, and the Microsoft SQL 2012. It has been developed. For the security, it's also has been taken care. And we have integrated the external services like SMS, email, payment gateways, PKI for the e-sign, and the Vahan 4 integration for the verification of the mineral carrying vehicle registered within the system. What we have achieved using this portal, service improvements. We now service has been faster service delivery, so reduce the time of the delivery. It's a real-time accounting and receipt generation, so we can check our all accounts and all the in and out of the financial transactions. We can take the proactive action using the MIS. So it has also approval systems and decision system alerts. Any document available, it can be available from the system by using a single start. So it has its central repository within the system. Reduce the customer footprint. This is the most important part of this project, that we have targeted to reduce our customer footprints from the offices by almost 60%. It is already reduced by the 60%. Even in this pandemic situation, it was very helpful to us to run the business. All the documents, it's digitally signed, so there is no manual process. We have reduced the carbon footprint as well by reducing the paper within the offices. Revenue benefits, we have more than 1,500 financial transactions worth of rupees 4 crores are being managed daily within the system. Growth in revenue due to the system alerts and the validation and the checks, our revenue drastically improved, and the payment we are getting on time and match. Interlink revenue, like it's interlinked with our main royalty payments. That's a DMF, TCS, and the premium. Like it's also has been increased from 85% to 100%. Now we are getting the same payments on timely manner at the same time. Currently, the system is generating more than 70,000 transit permit used by the mineral carrying vehicle while they are transporting mineral from one location to other location. So it is 70,000 transactions daily done by the system. And also, as I said, the generation of periodic, predefined and customized MIS reports leads to revenue planning and budgeting. So the current system has changed our life. It makes easy life for the applicant, the leaseholder, the concession holder, and other relevant stakeholder. Currently, the system has a concurrent 1,000 users in the system daily. So system is also managing that. This was about my project that we did it here, and it's complete. Thank you.
Well, it's good. I mean, quite commendable. You have put 200, almost 200 processes into the system. That's quite good. But you already had a system. So all these processes. So you just mentioned that that was browser not compatible with all browsers, which I could not understand. I mean, what is there not to be? Browser is something which goes to the web and checks everything, finds everything. Incompatibility with browser means what exactly?
Actually, the system was developed in 2010. So at that time, with the limited technology, limited functionality, and the browser Internet Explorer like the 10.8 was only compatible to the systems. So and also limited functionality in that. So we have upgraded the technology. We moved to the .NET 4.5. We moved to the Bootstrap UI. So that's why now it is compatible with any browser.
No, just a minute. What I could not understand is having an Internet Explorer compliant, and if browser independence is what you wanted to achieve, you just go for the just little bit tweaking of your application where browser can be managed. So you don't need to change whole system for making it browser compliant and accessible by all browsers.
That was the one of the aspects.
Like you are using a Canon to catch a mouse. So that's not when. What are other benefits? Because browser independence You don't go to change your system, whole system for that.
You are right. You are right. So that was not only the limitations. Browser compatibility was not. There was technical limitations, other technical limitations, as well as the functionality. The earlier system was only the royalty pass generation functionality. The processes was not included in that system. Now we are included each and
So you
every.
added more system. You added more system. You talked about an auction portal. That is a part of the system, or that's outside it, because
Auction
you
portal
can
is
integrate it.
yes.
You said
Auction portal.
integrated with auction portal. So that means
Yes, it's
that is not a
integrated
part
with
of
auction.
this.
Integrated with the auction portal. So once the auction has been
So
concluded
that's
from
an
the auction,
independent system. So that's an
independent.
independent system.
Auction portal is independent system.
Independent system. But after the auction, the lease, the rates and the vendors and everything is brought to this.
Yes. Once the
It's an
auction
offline
concluded,
process
it's
for bringing. It's an offline process for bringing that data into this, or it's an online process.
it's an online process. It's connected to the auction portal. So once the auction is concluded, the automatic the data comes to my system, and it says that these are the preferred bidders, and now process further. So we can do the further processing from it.
Okay. So the data gets inputted to this portal
Exactly.
automatically.
Exactly.
So you change from your older system to the newer system. Whatever reason, the number of processes, all that. You said something about the revenue generation where you got 7,000 or some numbers of transactions and all these things. What have you calculated in terms of money? What is the cost benefit you got by transferring from the older system to the newer system? Because you must have made more investment.
Yes.
Investments. So
Yes. Earlier.
what is your cost benefit by the way of cost?
So earlier we were using other method to collect the money, like the district officer normally sign the challans, and they go to the district office and deposit the money. And we used to have another offline model from HDFC Bank earlier. So it was taking almost 2 to 3 days to come money in our account. So that was a huge interest loss. Now we are getting that money directly to the government account.
What I'm asking is, have you quantified?
Sorry?
I'm asking, I can understand if the money is coming offline and getting transferred by 2 3 days, the interest, because your lease amount will be very huge and all that, so you'll be losing on that. I'm asking that I understand. I understand the process. I want to understand what is the amount, quantifiable amount, like what percentage.
Okay, so earlier, as I said, that the offline processes like payments like our surface and payments was not done online. So now it is doing online, and we have growth almost 10%. 10% of those amounts we are getting benefit of interest as well because of the real time. So and the interlink payments like DMF is one of our organization that were spending money for PMKKY projects, and that collection also be done from the leaseholders itself. So it was earlier that the DMF collection was done by in the offline method and directly to DMF account. Now our system do the calculation method and get that money from the royalty amount itself. So in real time, when they pay the one amount, the other amount will be automatically calculated by the system and ask applicant to pay from the same transaction. So we are getting all the payments on the same time.
Good.
That is also generated.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm part of his team. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm part of his. We are part of the same team. May I just add? So basically, DMF, which was coming up to 80%, now it is almost reaching to 99% collection because this is a business growth model. And even in terms of royalty, there is a substantial collection. So the whole idea to introduce ILMS was how do we increase the revenue and how do we introduce the DMF collection, etc., which were not coming simultaneously. Now it is coming from one single source. That's the kind of, it's about 99%, which the amount which was to be collected and coming about 99%. So
and also you ensure transparency.
Yes. And yes, the other thing is it ensures transparency. In 1 year, DMF has increased by about 192 crores. So which was not so earlier.
Okay, I have a couple of questions.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions as far as
Yes,
this
sir.
thing is concerned. My first thing is because there are two things which are getting mixed up. Number one is the new functionality of the systems which have now been included, which were not there in the earlier system. Number two is the technology upgradation. Now, on both the things, I have a very specific and a very fundamental issue. Whenever we take up a project, especially which involves a fair amount of IT, it has to be flexible enough to evolve itself. And evolution takes place in two directions, two main directions. One is the functionality, and functionality because the people get more and more aware of the automated and technological systems, so their demands keep on increasing. So you have to keep that thing in the mind. And the second thing is the architecture should be technology neutral so that it keep on absorbing the new technologies as and when it comes. I'll give you only one example. The railway reservation system was first introduced in 1982. Until now, there has been only one technology upgrade, but there have been umpteen number of functionality upgrades. And even in that technology upgrade, only a small portion of technology was upgraded. The basic core system of the reservation algorithm continues to be one that was developed in 1982, and it works far more efficiently than the new systems which are now being developed. It is due for the next one, but it will be done based on the needs and requirements. Now, this was achieved because of an evolutionary process. And at no stage we blame what the earlier system was. Because 5 years hence, I don't want somebody to sit on your chair and blame the system what you have developed today. Okay. So I think that's an integral part of any project management and any project conceptualization, that it should be a live project. It should not be a terminating after 6 years or 5 years or 3 years or 8 years. Unfortunately, our tender system and our procurement system forces us to think in that line. So technology upgrade, functionality upgrade, the functionality transformation has to be inbuilt when we actually conceptualize the projects. So those are very, very fundamental things which have to be there. Otherwise, we'll face the problems what we are facing with the income tax today. A beautifully running e-filing system is in the dumps right now, even though it is developed by Infosys. That does not make any difference because you have done away with all the learnings which were there and you are trying to redevelop the wheel once again. And once you redevelop a wheel, it takes time to stabilize. Why should we have a teething problem in a system which is already working? The migration and upgradation should be a seamless process. At least the client should not feel that you are making such changes. So these are some of the very fundamental things that we have to keep in mind when we make these changes, when we talk about our projects.
So we did the same thing. We upgrade the project. We update the portal. We update the portal to the inline with the acts and rules, not only in the terms of technology. And now we have tried to make it very flexible. So in future, the upgradation or any changes in the system can be done by the front end. So we have tried to make it so there is the whole change not required at that time.
Good, good, good. I just wanted to share this thing because more than one time during your presentation, there were things being referred to what was earlier there, what is there now. I don't want after 5 years somebody should say the same thing that what was. Yes, we have improved upon. We have improved upon the service levels. something which was being done in a batch mode has now been brought into the real-time mode, as Madam just now said. Instead of 80%, 99% of the transactions are being done on a simultaneous basis. So that's something excellent. So we keep on improving the service levels. We keep on improving the customer interface, the customer behavior, and the new needs and requirements which keep on coming from the stakeholders. So
Yes,
all those
we-
things have to be absorbed. At the same time, we make it more efficient by absorbing new technology and making it more and more transparent to the end user. I think this is a good initiative. I think this is a long way to go. I just wanted to share some of my experiences so that you can benefit from it once you are planning the further developments of it.
Okay. So normally for the continuous service improvement, we try to meet our stakeholders. We ask them what are the issues you are facing or what are the changes you want in the system. So based on that feedback, we also change.
Yes,
Uh,
but
change
my
the-
thing is that at any time, please keep your outcomes objectively defined and measurable so that
Sure.
you can constantly monitor them and improve them as the time comes.
Sure. Sure.
And keep a continuous feedback from the stakeholders so that they can
Yes.
keep on giving you the inputs and the need for improvement, because the need of improvement not only comes from your processes, but also the demand on the stakeholders from the environment which comes.
Yes. So
So
sometimes,
that's what happens. Right?
yes. So sometimes we do the technical changes and on some business reprocessing was required also. So based on the feedback, we do the business reprocessing and then convert it into IT system.
Yes, good.
So we are doing that processes for the continuous service improvement.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.